Not David Hasselhoff, but Carmen Electra.
A do Rick Martin é a do Globo, né?
All right, did everybody see that island that we went around that's right behind us with the monument on it? Does anybody know what that island is called? Monument Island. I know, really original. That island was built in honor of Henry Flagler by Carl Fisher. Henry Flagler was responsible for bringing the railroad down here to South Florida and resulted in the Miami and Miami Beach area that we're looking at right now. As a matter of fact, Henry Flagler and Carl Fisher, they decided to build these islands because all of these are artificial. And what they did is they used the leftover sand and dirt from the port of Miami to build these islands, and now it's some of the most expensive dirt in the world. Over here we have Palm Island, right behind us we have Hibiscus Island, and then right over there we have the Venetian Islands, and then right behind me we have Star Island. And right on Star Island happens to be the largest house on Star Island, right across us here. That house sits on about 6 acres worth of land and is estimated to be worth at about $55 million. And if you look over there behind those tennis courts with the that building with the solar panels on top of it, that is a 6,000 square foot greenhouse. God knows what they're growing in there because this house belongs to Florida's largest drug dealer. Ooh, Rick Ross. Alright, right over here. This house actually belongs to a generic drug dealer. He is a doctor, guys. His name is Dr. Philip Frost. And he once was the CEO of the IVAX Pharmaceuticals, who are partly responsible for creating little blue pills and smiles around the world. Viagra. You see the falls coming off that pool. That is Viagra Falls. And you see how the palm trees are standing straight up and down. These are date palms. They cost about $9,000 to import from South Africa, and there's about 50 of them on the property. So you can do the math. His wife is still actually an elementary school principal, so she still has a regular 9 to 5. Alright, you see this yellow home right here, this belongs to Charlie Parker, and he is the president and CEO of the Parker Pen Corporation. So if you ever bought a Parker pen, or your office building has some Parker pens, they are contributing to this house as we speak. This was used in the movie Guys and Dolls with Marlon Brando and Frank Sinatra in the 1950s. This Hooky Spooky home right here was actually the first and only home on Star Island for a while. It was owned by Henry Flagler until he left it abandoned for about 40 years. Some people say it's haunted. As a matter of fact, they use it for a few exterior shots of the Addams Family. Now it's owned by a world-renowned Formula 1 race car driver by the name of Emerson Fittipaldi. Alright, this lovely pink home right here used to belong to Don Johnson, the original star of the television series Miami Vice. He was the guy that made pink cool for guys to wear. He actually owned this home right up until he ran out of money, until he sold it to Elizabeth Taylor. And you see that rabbit sculpture in the backyard? That was said to be given to Elizabeth Taylor by Michael Jackson to signify her jumping from relationship to relationship, marriage to marriage. Silly rabbit. This house is still said to be owned by the Taylor family because she has since passed away. Do we have any basketball fans, guys? Or any would-be basketball fans? This house, that's right, was built for Shaq when he was a part of the Miami Heat in their 2006 run. For about $27 million he had that house built. And then he left the Miami Heat, left Miami. His wife left him. I know, sad story. But she then sold the house for about $30 million to a Russian billionaire who happens to be dating Naomi Campbell. Alright, we see this yellow home right here. This is a vacation rental. So if you're not too happy with where you're staying at right now, you can rent this out for about $12,000 per night, just $12,000 with a 4-night minimum. And don't worry guys, that comes with Wi-Fi and a mini iron. That's saltwater therapy pools actually used in the shooting or the filming of the movies.
Pra vender também, é isso aí.
Ele falou, se você não está satisfeito onde você está, você pode alugar essa casa amarela, 12 mil reais.
Alright, you see this house right here? This house belongs to Sylvester Stallone, Mr. Rocky Balboa. And this lot right here just sold for about $8.9 million. It did come with a nifty little bush on the seawall, but I guess I didn't pay enough for it. Alright, everybody see this yellow home? This house belonged to Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's, until he gave it to his daughter, Melinda Thomas, for graduating college. And guys, the only thing that I got when I graduated was a handshake. My life. Alright, you see behind this bush, with this house. This house belongs to Will Smith. And he actually filmed a few scenes of Welcome to Miami on the balcony for about $150,000 on his own balcony. Alright guys, get your cameras ready because this house is going to blow your minds because I have absolutely no idea who lives there. Alright, this lot right here just sold for about $28 million to Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. And they just recently announced that they were getting married, and I swear, this fence never was here, just got there. So I guess they're starting that 50-50, what's mine is yours type thing early. The original plan was to put in a big enough house to fit their army of adopted kids. This white home right here belonged to the material girl Madonna until she sold it to a Brazilian superstar, Xuxa.
Xuxa, né? Ela vendeu pra uma... Ela vendeu pra...
Alright, you see this tropical oasis here? This belonged to the duo, Emilio and Gloria Estefan from the Miami Sound Machine. I think they adopted that 50-50 thing too because they stay in these two separate homes. I'm just kidding. They stay on the left, and on the right is a Sony recording studio that comes with a gym and a guest home. Alright, everybody, does anybody recognize this home? From Bad Boys 2, when Martin Lawrence was in the pool, the above ground pool, the dog ran by, split the pool in two, and he fell into the bay. That's right there. Actually, this house is owned by the Gleason family, and they rent it out for special occasions, weddings, bar mitzvahs, and usually they have Victoria's Secret photo shoots here on Sundays. Those are really good days.
Ele falou que essa casa já foi usada para tirar fotos para Victoria's Secret.
Alright, this house, does anybody recognize this home? Yeah, Scarface. I guess you've been on this tour before, guy, huh? This Scarface house, they used this in that famous scene where he killed like 50 people with 5 bullets. Movie magic. And this next house next to the movie's home, that house is Rosie O'Donnell. So if you're in the mood or you want to see Rosie O'Donnell, she's a really great person. That's her boat. She's usually out here on the weekends. So come by and say hi to her. Alright guys, we're getting ready to go fast. Remember how this goes. The louder you get, the faster we go. So what we're going to do this time, instead of waving around and yelling like a bunch of crazy people, we're going to do the wave while we're yelling and waving like a bunch of